presence, and let's do this first one with eye contact.
There are new ways of communicating, new ways of transferring knowledge.
Is the wire showing through?
But the brotherhood is the same brotherhood that was founded on Solomon's temple.
Okay, so we're rolling. This is 2. Anytime.
The temple in the heart of man is an unfinished temple. We are building it every day. We build it as we grow in moral insight and in strength of character. We build it as we broaden our sympathy and understanding to include men of every race and creed. We build it as we carry the inspirations from this hour of fellowship into the tasks of our everyday world.
Truth and justice, liberty and enlightenment, fraternity and philanthropy. For Scottish Rite Freemasons, these are the living ideas and ideals that stand the test of time and are always inspiring good men to become better men.
People are still asking the same questions they've been asking about who am I and what's my role in the world and what's my purpose in life.
There is a willingness on the part of the Scottish Rite to say these are ancient, timeless concepts of truth and liberty and battling in the face of adversity. But we're willing to show you how more modern man has applied those concepts.
And that's the amazing thing about Freemasonry and about the Scottish Rite as part of Freemasonry is these continuities, these strings of teachings that don't change, and at the same time the fact that the fraternity is constantly adapting itself to the society around it.
In 2003, the late Lee Sherman Dreyfus, former governor of Wisconsin and himself a Scottish Rite Mason, spoke of how the ideals of Freemasonry inspire the best in men, whatever the period, whatever the challenge.
There have been 6, in my opinion, 6 great true revolutions in the 17th and 18th century. What do I mean by a great and true revolution? A revolution that was not aimed at taking power. It was a revolution aimed at giving power to the people. And there were only 6 of those. One was obviously here in America. One was in France, one was in Italy, one was in Hungary, one was in South America, and one was in Mexico. Now, who were the leaders of those 6 great revolutions that brought power to the common people? Obviously, George Washington in this one, and in France it was Danton, in Italy it was Garibaldi, and in South America was Simón Bolívar, Mexico, Benito Juárez, and in Hungary, Kossuth. All of those men, Freemasons, all of them. Is that just chance? Is that just the luck of the dice? I don't think so. I look at World War II, and for those of you as our guests tonight, who are the names you associate with bringing about the successful conclusion of that war? You've got to start with Churchill and Roosevelt, no question about those two, and followed by Harry Truman, and certainly General Marshall and the Truman or Marshall Plan that followed after the war that preserved that peace. And you've got to look at Douglas MacArthur out in the Pacific and what he did in laying a constitution and creating a democracy in Japan from a nation that had been a warrior nation. Now, am I to tell you that most of those men are Masons? No. All of those men were Freemasons. But I think this current century, the one that I'm going to miss, is very promising because there's a possibility of a quantum leap to build the world's royal arch that'll cover all of the peoples, all of the religions, all of the races of this world, to understand that we are all brothers and sisters and that we are under one fatherhood. It is possible a world of no war, of religious tolerance, of racial tolerance, with food, shelter, and security for everybody in the world, and a brotherhood of mankind. So for those of you now who are my brothers in this hall, I tell you, this is no time for any of you, regardless of your age, to say it is high 12 and there is no work before us. He has put a good deal of work on that trestle board. And let us get to our labors and finish building the temple. There's an incredible opportunity